Hey, what's good, everybody? Uh, for those of you that know, I've been under the weather for a little bit, so I took a few days off. I haven't been on here as much, right? But I feel a whole lot better. I went up into the mountains and got me some medicine and saw myself a little spirit and all that good stuff. And yeah. Hey, Adiverma, how are you? Good morning. Yeah, I feel like this is the latest I've gotten on here. I'm doing pretty well. I slept really good last night, so I don't even know how. Man, I feel like I slept like 12 hours or something. How are you doing? Oof, interesting. You see how small this is. That's great. I'm glad to hear. Hey, River Dragon. Yeah, I'm feeling better finally. So, yeah, my cough, I feel like it pretty much went away, but since I haven't been talking, we'll see. But I haven't had a cough like even all yesterday, but hopefully it doesn't come back during the reading or something. How are you doing, River Dragon? Um, absolutely. I slept. I did have some weird dreams, but you know, yeah, I've been having some strange dreams like even the other days, but yeah, very vivid, very, you know. So the first thing that came out was Coatlicue. Coatlicue. She of the serpent skirt, la de la falda de serpientes, and that's funny because we're ending off this snake, yeah, year of the snake, right? It's almost over. Like I thought about it, maybe that's why there's still some things because the world keeps coming out, right? Like the cycle. So maybe that's why. I guess maybe the collective isn't late with that. It's just the year technically isn't over. I mean, depending what calendar you go by, obviously. So let me read real quick what she has to tell us. Coatlicue is an emanation of the spirit of the earth, and her myth figures heavily in the Aztec migration story. Coatlicue literally means skirt of snakes. She is associated with death, fertility of the earth, and medicinal plants. Ah, that's funny. All healers call to her. In mythology, she gave birth to the moon, the stars, and Huitzilopochtli, Tochi, and Cihuacoatl were aspects of her. Coatlicue embodies the dark and the light, all that is opposite and complementary. Oh, okay, complementary. When you need to be grounded in the earth or connect with your heart and cut attachments, she invites you to reinvent yourself and let go of what does not serve you. This archetype taps into the ancient wisdom of recurring cycles, helping you understand the lessons so that you can become your best and highest self. Each time that a woman heals herself, she helps each time that a woman heals herself, she helps me to heal the earth that is me. Oh, it's in quotations like she's saying that. Each time that a woman heals herself, she helps me to heal the earth. That is me. All is sacred. Ah, I like it. Wow, so that's the message, right? And that makes sense. Um, to me, that resonates because there were some things that I wanted to really understand, that I had gone through, and I really asked, I asked the creator, the ancestor, everybody to really explain the reason for the lessons, right? So I get that. I mean, it resonates For me, I don't know if it resonates with the collective, right? But let me see. All right. So that's the message, right? I remember when I was little, I think in junior high, we went to Mexico City and there was a museum that had, I think, the original one of these, right? Like the stone what is it called? Man, how come I can't statue, I guess? Is that yeah. So that's funny. Prevision. Okay. So maybe right now the collective's in a making plans for the future. Hey, no, I forgot what how to pronounce your name. So I don't know. Was there a separate thing to it? No highest Sam. I forgot. Let me remind me so I don't have to keep trying to pronounce no highest Sam. I Okay, I'll get to your message. I'm barely starting the collective, so let me see what else. So maybe by Aries season. Even there, it looks like a choice is being made, right? Because it's like leaving one of the wands behind, and yeah, that's interesting. I don't know why that jumped out. That's never really jumped out at me like that. Like one of the wands is actually behind. Well, two of them, I guess, you know? Even within that, it's like a choice is being made. So maybe there's something, right? But I don't know. This feels like maybe the collective's really taking time to really taking the time to choose wisely, right? I don't know if you ever seen that Indiana Jones movie where at the end he has to choose a cup and then he tells him you chose wisely. So it feels like that kind of energy, like really taking the time. See the moon. I love this card because there's this dreamy energy to it, but see my whole guts lighting up. But it's like I went through this last year, right? And a lot of the illusion had to fall off. See, so sometimes so this looks like someone that it feels like someone that's really trying to see past the illusion. Already like, okay, I've already been see like the dog and the wolf and even the little lobster like being mesmerized by the moon. But this time it's like I think the collective's really trying not to repeat cycles, right? That's what it feels like. And both are third eye, right? That's interesting. Hmm. Generosity, prosperity. I think there's a lot of planning in that, but there's also gratitude. I'm feeling like this gratitude energy, right? And I think the universe always responds to that. That's what I heard, right? Like I'm grateful for all the lessons, so it feels like a lot of the collective is grateful for the lessons. And I think because of that gratitude moving forward, I think wow, I got this whole like nice good sensation, right? So I think wow, this is pretty cool. I like it. I'm really enjoying this energy right now. The other day I think there was a heavier energy, right? But this energy, or I don't remember, but this energy, or was that I think it was with a Gemini reading I did, but this energy is good. Wow, look at 6 6 nostalgia. See, and that came through right about like maybe revisiting something from the past, right? but this time knowing, like after having experience, like, maybe you were someone, right, that did this, and that, and then it's like grabbing on, you know what? I think I'm gonna grab this wand and I'm gonna go all the way with it. See where this leads, right? And there's that, right? And just being grateful for everything, all the lessons. Wow, okay, I've tried all these things and I think this is where I want to go, with the heart, right? This is what makes my heart happy. And this is a Scorpio, right? Scorpio card. So that means I really feel that's what I'm getting right now. Like the decision wasn't made lightly, right? It was like really going deep and figuring things out, right? So that makes sense. Hey, good morning. Good morning, Zoe. Oh yeah, there is, huh? The moon. Yeah, a friend painted that and they said I guess that they knew it was for me, so wow, look at that. See? It just feels like this kind of reading. Ten of Pentacles. See, I think that's what it is, right? It all came from lessons, right? Definitely a decision that, it's almost like from everything that you learned, all the lessons, and then just being grateful, right? The gratitude is really important. Knowing like where you want to go. And that makes sense, right? Because obviously if we confuse the universe even, it's like imagine us asking for something and then the universe is like, okay, okay, we're working on it. Or it took a while for them to receive the message, right? The energy. And then all of a sudden, by the time they're working on that, you're already like, well, I decided I want to do this instead or something. And the universe is like, but it feels like in this case, like the collective having direction and just being like, okay, I've actually took the time this time to know myself and know, thank you for all the lessons. And this is let's see where this road leads kind of thing, right? So yeah, that's good. I like it. All right. So anything else for any advice or kind of warnings for the collective? What might be some of the obstacles, I guess, because I don't even know if I wanted to ask that because everything just feels good, like to the point, or at least the energy I'm connecting to. It's like right after all the healing and the shedding of the skins. Yeah, I like this energy right now. It's really, uh-oh. So this is the warning, right? Make sure don't get, I mean, the hangman's not a bad thing, right? But don't start doubting yourself. Don't get indecisive. Don't, right? Because sometimes when things don't happen right away, we start getting impatient, right? But there's a lot of third eye here, so it's a lot of trusting. I mean, if you really think about it, right? It's like the third eye is almost, it's like tapping to the knowledge within, right? That your higher self knows. And the crown is almost like even connecting to the universal network, right? Like, hey, I can't figure this out. Give me some extra assistance here. But with the third eye, it's like right? You yourself can tap into that. So there's a lot of that knowledge here, right? From the moon, the first card that popped up to what could stand in your way is you just having doubts and all that stuff. But I mean, it is not a bad card, right? Eventually you get the light bulb moment, you know? So if you do ever get in that hangman mode, just take some time. Oh yeah, look at what it says right here. Sacrifice and patience. I hadn't even read that. Sacrifice and patience. So when you do face, right, like it says adversidades. So if you do face any adverse, how the hell do you say that? I get confused when I'm translating from the English to Spanish. Well, if any obstacles, right, we'll just say that. If you do get any obstacles on your, take some time, right, hang upside down, you know, and let me see where was. Yeah, yeah, I won't forget. I won't forget. Dang. Hmm. Okay, I'll get to you right now. Wow, let me tell you this. Look it, because this popped up as I'm splitting the deck. So maybe this will resonate with you, No Highs, Sam, the World and the Hermit, right? So that sounds like exactly everything that was supposed to happen, right? Because even me, right? I'm a very go 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 kind of person. So when I got sick, I wasn't surprised because I thought I was taking time, but I really wasn't. I did stop, but even when I stopped, right, I was still coming on here, doing lives or different things. So the universe was asking me to stop, right? And so that's always the best way, right? You get sick or something, and then it's like, we're gonna make you stop, right? And in that time, I had a lot of things happen, right? A lot of epiphanies, right? So I guess that's a good question for you. Did you really let cycles close, right? Because a cycle closing is like, you have to ask yourself, it's like that. Let's say people don't like you, but you keep going around these people that don't like you. And then you say, these people don't like me. Well, why are you around people that don't like you? You see what I'm saying? I've had to cut off family before because it didn't make sense to me. Why are you always starting stuff with me? Well, then cool. Your family, I had that epiphany. I had even like that, like the okay from the universe, like, yeah, cut this person off, right? Uh, you know what I'm saying? And then after, things were never like they used to be, but I have all the peace in the world now, right? I don't have to communicate, so it's okay, right? I could cut people off. And if you're afraid of being alone, then that's a different story, right? Then you have to find like-minded people, you know? So that's where you have to, that means that if you keep doing those kind of things and you don't let the cycle ends, then you're not an accountable person, right? And that's the lesson that the universe is going to keep teaching you until you get it. Because I've known full adults 70 years old that still haven't got the lessons, um like I even blocked an aunt once because after my brother had just passed away, my aunt called me to complain about, I guess they were having, like my mom has a bunch of sisters, so they were having problems. And my aunt's calling me to nag about stuff when I just lost my brother. And I'm like, are you guys really that, like, you don't get it? Like, I don't want to get into that, but even though I already did, but it's like, I blocked her. It took me to cut to that. I blocked my own aunt because I was like, are you like, I don't know. It didn't make sense. I was like, huh? Like, I did the Scooby Doo thing. Like, right? Like, are you really calling me to complain about something when like an adult, right? Like a old, not that I'm not an adult, but I'm saying like a fool, like even, I don't know, 70 years old, you still don't get it? Like, so the universe will keep repeating things, right? So you got to ask yourself, if you're not willing to look within, then nobody's going to be able to do that for you. And then maybe on the next life, you'll get it, right? Um, so if you keep wanting someone else to change, then you already, I don't know what to tell you, right? Like if you're stuck in that cycle of, oh, everybody, then why are you still around those people? You know what I'm saying? Like what? Then that means you just love the victim mentality, right? Like, yes. So I'm saying about that. If there's other things, obviously, then that's a whole nother thing, right? But when it comes to other people, if you have the opportunity to cut other people from your life, then maybe that's the lesson the universe is trying to teach you, right? Like, and maybe, right? Because I've spent years with no friends, no nothing, and in that solitude, you could find an amount of strength that you never imagined, right? That's probably when all my spidey senses, and I never felt alone anymore, right? Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to preach or nothing, right? But yeah, it's just like that. So I'll answer all your questions, right? I'll pull the cards for you, but I'm just saying, like, there's um, there's a lot of layers to that you can ask, right? There's a lot of layers to that. So let me see. Okay, so the first question was just, oh, you just wanted a general then, right? Yeah, of course, it does feel lonely. It always feels lonely, right? But then you're not. I'll put it to you like this. Then you guys already know. I already say it on here, anyways. But the other, when I was sick, two days that I was sick, as I was waking up, I seen an angel, right? So, because I got really sick, so I just won't sugarcoat it. I was like in that. I couldn't even sleep, right? With the cough and everything, it felt very miserable, right? And when I finally got to sleep, two of the days that I was waking up, I saw an angel, right? And I haven't seen an angel like I could probably count it on at least both hands, right? Where I actually knew 100% that it was an angel, right? But that, right? So was I alone? Of course not. I wasn't alone. Um, you know what I mean? So that's the thing is once you realize that you're never really alone, and the universe will give you all the signs in the world. So that's what it is. Okay, so let me see. Okay, well, so I don't know. So this is for you. So I guess you're feeling a heartbreak right now, then, right? Is that so? I mean, you've expressed it, so obviously there's a heartbreak right now, right? So, like that, you feel heartbroken about a situation. I don't know if it was a romantic one or your job or what it is exactly. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. I know there's a lot of. Oh no, well I'm glad you had the strength to no one should stay in an abusive relationship, right? Okay, so okay, let me see. So I think this is just, the universe acknowledging, right? Acknowledging that's how you're feeling right now, right? Wow, and look at you talked about pouring into everyone's cup. But if you see, so you're a compassionate person, then that's a beautiful thing, right? But in this card, for example, the queen closed her cup, right? She still feels, she still sees everything, but she closed her cup, right? So what does that mean? She's not pouring into anyone else's cup anymore, right? Because her cup is closed. On the flip side, someone can't pour into her cup because it's closed, but Oh, and there's that third eye again, right? Wow, there's so much of that, right? So there's a lot of and the way she's like just, she feels everything, right? And she's just sitting, it almost looks like just contemplating, right? Like that cup stores all the things she's been through. And maybe at this time she closed it because she feels there, right? I've learned all these lessons that, all the water you see it rippling around her, right? Like all that stuff. So I feel like this is you, right? Um, okay, let me see. What advice do you have then? Because I feel like they're acknowledging, but that, right? Like that feels like kind of the advice, right? You have to go through a time of closing that cup because yeah, life gets overwhelming, right? Life gets overwhelming, so you have to close that cup and do the self-care for sure, right? Here, let me see. The self-care. Let me see. What other advice do you have? Maybe really trusting in your intuition, right? When you do decide to open up that cup again, because right, it's almost like starting a whole new journey, right? With the page. And I got that because when I split the deck and the world was there, you really have to let the old you kind of die, right? For lack of a not, but it is, or shed the old skin, right? The snake, right? That was the thing. You really have to let that old you die, right? Not that all the stuff didn't happen to you. It happened to you. You have it. It's there, right? You put it in that cup. You close the lid. It's there, and you're contemplating on all the things you learned from it. But like, let's say that you're someone that people took advantage of. Well, now you're not. You're you're someone that overgave, right? I got over that pretty young because when I was young, I used to do everything for everyone too, and then I noticed I was getting taken advantage of, so I learned to say no, and I didn't feel bad, right? I didn't feel bad, even when people supposedly had like emergencies, and I just was like no, right? But then I had to find a happy medium, right? Because then I got overly like someone if someone would have called me like they're dying or something, I probably would have been like no at that time. That's how cold I got to where it was like I don't care, whatever, right? Like no, you already burned that bridge with me, no. But then I became obviously I had to find my way back towards a happy medium, right? But yeah, so it's okay, you just have to let that you have to close out that old you, right? You have to literally picture it like you have a canvas, you have the paintbrush, and how are you gonna paint this new life for yourself, right? If it's a job that's been, like however it is, right? So yeah. So yeah, yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting for you, right? So hopefully that helps. And write it down, right? Write it down. Write down the new you that you want to see, right? Write down that new you that you want to start creating without any limitations, too. Don't limit yourself like, oh, but if you say but, like no buts, right? Just do it and see, and let the universe work its magic and be patient, right? Yeah. Oh, I don't know why I pulled another card, but justice came out. See, I feel like the universe is very just. So, okay. So yeah, wow. Okay, so let me see. Anyone else have a question? Because I know that was a whole conversation right there. Let me see. Did someone else? I know someone else. Didn't someone else? Did you have a question, Zoe? Because I lost it at some point. Let me see there. Past a lot, so I want to know why it's happening. Is there a lesson? I mean, I can't go in the past, but it's still disturbing me now. Okay, so Adiverma, you wanted to know why the past is creeping in. I mean, you saw during the collective the nostalgia card came up, right? So for some of you, I mean, it just depends, right? The past is meant to come back up, right? But let's see for you what exactly is the lesson? Why is your past coming up, Adiverma? Why is your past coming up? I don't know. I see prosperity. I don't know what. Maybe there's something there, right? Maybe was it a relationship thing? Cause I mean, with the sacral chakra, I don't know. Maybe there is prosperity there, or you felt like there was prosperity there, right? It's like that. Like if you, for example, if you were in, you know, the lesson. Why do people split up? Oh, I mean, first of all, why do they come together? Because obviously there was something there, but as you begin that journey with someone, then you see like, nah, you know what? There's all these other things, right? And if there's no growth together, right? And that's how it goes sometimes, right? One person can outgrow the other, and it could be different areas, right? Or different and no one's exempt from it, right? No one's exempt from it, right? So let's see what else then about the past. So I feel like your subconscious, right? Oh wow, okay. So this kind of changes it. So this is for Adiverma, right? That's who. Um, I don't know. Be careful not to compare it. See, when if you get if you really feel like the past was, I mean, if there was, sometimes, hey, we can make mistakes, right? Even, right? And that's okay. But if you're stuck on the past, I don't know, whatever. Let's say you left the job and then after you're like, man, why did I leave that job? It was actually a good job, but something, I don't know. For some reason you just left, right? And then you realize like, damn, this was actually the best job I ever had. But there's not really no wrong answers in this life because it's all a learning experience. But, you know, or this is the thing, right? The universe is giving you something new, but you keep comparing things, right? And so that's your work to do, right? To close out the cycle. Like you're just stuck on the past. You're being offered new things, but to you, it's like, no, no, the past was like the shiniest thing. So this could just be your perspective. Either it's true, so take it how it resonates. Either it really was this that then you got to see like why, right? And if it's not available to you no more, then you have no choice but to move forward. You know what I mean? And another thing is don't be self-sabotaging because if you're already getting a new thing from the universe, why are you stuck on the past? See, so take it out because I'm getting those two kind of scenarios there. Take it how it resonates. Because yeah, it feels like Yeah, it feels like there's oh look, and that's a four and a four, right? So it feels like there's something. Yeah, so just yeah, because you could tell me how. It's almost how when the collective reading started, right? It was the person that had their wand and they knew the direction they wanted to go in. I think it's almost like that. Like if you're stuck on the past and you feel like it was the best choice, then do what you got to do, right? Figure out why things didn't, including what part did you have to play in that not working out. Why? Because there was a lesson to learn. So that was your question. Why are you still stuck on it? Because you didn't learn whatever lesson from it, right? You're still thinking about it because you're like, damn. And if not, then the universe is like, okay, because no matter what, obviously, if you're, it's like you could be in the best situation and then that doesn't go right, right? Whether you self sabotage it or it just didn't work out, it's not like the universe is gonna leave you alone for the rest of your life, right? You're gonna meet somebody else, but of course you should learn the lesson so then you don't mess up the new relationship too, right? Or if you really feel like, okay, damn, like I did mess up, right? Is there any way I could fix this, right? Kind of situation. So that's what I'm getting, right? And see, here's the don't be undecisive, right? Because a lot of times that's what it is. The past is creeping in because there's a lesson that you haven't learned, and you know that lesson. At the end of the day, it's all about honesty, right? You have to be honest. Oh yeah, in case, right? I forgot to mention if anyone wants a psychic reading or even a tarot reading, a personalized one, I think I usually put like my email underneath. You can message me, right? But that's one of the things, for example, like when I do the psychic readings, right? Most of the time someone's higher self will come communicate with me. And it's like, it's very interesting to see, like, people will really try to present themselves a certain way, but your higher self does not BS, right? Like, I've dealt with the most stubborn people in the world, like here in this reality, and then in the spirit world, they're like a whole different person. It's like they'll even tell on themselves and all this stuff. It's just amazing, right? And ultimately, obviously, your higher self is trying to get you to that point, right? Because that's the whole lesson. Obviously, in this life, we're supposed to strip all that down, right? So it's always amazing to me that I don't know, in this reality, people have a really hard time of looking in the mirror and being accountable. You know what I mean? And I get it. It is what it is, right? We're, I think, conditioned like that, right? Since we're little. And so yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so who else had a question? Hopefully that helped. Um, so you were irritated, but I mean, I don't know what your dream was about, so I'm sure there was a message in that for you, right? Okay, so Zoe, is that your question that you always met cheaters? So I can say cheaters. So how is that my lesson to be more? I mean, I don't know. Let me know if that's a question. If you want to know, Cause just off like like I've been with cheaters before too. I've never cheated on anyone that I was with, right? And I never changed that despite, right? I've been with people that cheated, and one thing though I was happy about was it taught me to trust my spidey senses, right? Like I would see it. So sometimes I looked at it like practice, like, wow, this person loved to lie so much that the spirit world showed me to trust them. Right. So that was a lesson for me. Like, oh wow, this was cool. This was great practice, right? Like to 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 have the dreams and all this stuff. And even though this person would lie, I learned like, oh yeah, just trust the spirit world no matter what, right? Another thing was is right? Sometimes you start building that of you see, as people call the red flags, right? You see those things and then you still go into the relationship. So maybe it's that. Maybe you're getting all the signs before. But of course, see, you have to see. So sometimes it is karma, right? If you were someone that cheated in past relationships and then you're like, well, why am I getting cheated on? Well, if you cheated in past relationships, then why would you be surprised? Let the karma balance out and then keep it moving, right? That I don't get because I've came across, not to say that's what you did, but I've came across that, right? Where I'm hearing people talk about being cheated on, and in the same breath they'll talk about when they've cheated on people, right? So I'm just like, right? So karma has to play itself out at some point. And once you balance out that karma, um, but then there's other variables too, right? Like the universe is teaching you to trust, right? Trust yourself. If you had intuitive nudges and you kept going towards it, um, like the little kid, you tell them don't touch the fire or don't touch that, it's hot. Then they go touch it and then they cry. Now they learn, right? So it's almost like that. Maybe sometimes how many times do we have to show you the red flags before you hop into this situation, right? Let me see. Yeah, then that's the thing. Maybe to leave, and that's one of the layers, right? Maybe it's like, okay, you you get cheated on. So maybe that's part of your lesson to teach you to have the strength. Okay, it happens once there. Why do you need to stay and let them cheat again and again and again, right? They did it once there, right? Um, and that's it, right? Sometimes you don't, that could be the lesson to have that. Because then you value yourself, right? And then what better lesson with someone that you actually care about? So then when people that you don't like a job, right? You could be at a job and yeah, maybe you care about the job, but if they treat you wrong, then having the self-worth to just walk away, right? So yeah. So I guess I'll pull the closing card, right? Wait, did I even pull it? Let me see what for Zoe. I don't know if I even pulled the card for Zoe. Let me at least pull a card for you. And yeah, that's funny because it kind of reminds me of what happened in the beginning, but it's the two of wands, right? It feels very like that, right? Like the world's in your hands. You have a choice. So just know that you always have a choice. You have a choice. Maybe that's what they're trying to teach you. Like you have all the power. See, like you have the world in your hands. What do you want to create? Do you want to continue on this path of meeting cheaters and this and that, or you'd be surprised, right? The power of the mind and and that, right? Maybe, like I said, you'll start noticing, right? I think once you start putting it out there to the universe, really like, hey, I know I deserve better. I know I've learned my lesson, right? Because obviously, if you keep staying, then you're teaching the universe that you haven't learned your lesson. So you're putting it out there, and they test you just to make sure, like, okay, well, look how this person cheated on you all these times and you stayed. So here goes another one, and then again, right? Like, so all that stuff, right? So there's And then the lesson's gonna be to not. And then when they finally send you someone good, it's gonna be to not project all the things that the other people mess you up with. Then the lesson's gonna be to not project all that onto the good person, right? So the universe doesn't. You got to remember that this earth is a school, right? And obviously the goal is to get to that Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, happy, happy, all that stuff. But after one lesson comes another lesson, right? I mean, that's what we're here to do, to learn. So. Well, yeah, that's a powerful lesson too, right? I had to, I was alone for it does now it seems like the blink of an eye, but I was alone for like, 6 years. It's just crazy that I don't know. I don't even know, right? It almost feels like I just blinked my eyes and it went through, right? 6 years. Um, yeah. So I don't know how that happened, but it happened, right? And then when I put it out to the universe, you know what? I'm ready to start, I guess, dating or whatever, and then bam, right? The universe listens. Not like that moment, but sometimes it can be. All right, so spirit activation. This is what came out. Number 36. Okay, this is the do not hesitate. The time is now. Take action. It's okay if you are hesitant or even afraid. Face that fear and do it anyway. There are times to pull back and think carefully before every action, but this isn't one of those times. Forge forward with courage and certainty. A new beginning awaits you. You might experience some chaos or turmoil, but that is all part of this exciting time of activation. Do not allow upheaval to disrupt your forward trajectory. Be courageous and forthright. Make your decisions swiftly and with confidence, and then act on them with steely resolve. In ancient times, people employed springtime ceremonies to clear out the old and invite in the new. Spring was seen as a time of new life, seeds sprouting, eggs hatching, animals giving birth, and new beginning. Spring also refers to hope, renewal, growth, youth, and love, and ceremonies were done to honor this transition in life. The spirit guardian of spring says, get ready. Big changes are ahead. Things that have been incubating are now coming to life. A profound transformation is ahead. Take risks, keep going, prepare for this time of upheaval, fluctuations, and renewal, and the end result will be glorious. I like it. And when they talk about the upheaval, it feels like that's going on too collectively, right? Um, there's so much going on, and that always happens, right? Before things get set right, there's always a time of upheaval, right? So that makes sense. But it's like the first card that came out, right? The Three of Wands. It's someone that's already, okay, I made up my mind. I grabbed this wand. I'm moving forward. So the same. I guess it is a time to act, right? Head towards what you want and all that good stuff. So, okay. Hope you have a wonderful Saturday as well. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. River Dragon, No Highest. Sam, Adiverma, Zoe. And thank you to anybody else that watched. Again, I'll put a link if anyone wants a personal reading, right? And all that good stuff. I'll put my email in the description along with all my other links. Okay, everybody. I'm glad I was able to get through this without a cough, so I guess I'm I'm back to normal or not back to normal, but pretty close. Okay, everybody have a great day. I'll talk to you all